Recently, Harry Kane, having moved to Bayern, lost his chance to break Alan Shearer's all-time record for goals in the Premier League. Kane, who scored 413 goals, was literally 47 goals away from breaking the record, Shearer's 214. A few seasons would have been enough for the record to fall, but Harry chose a different path. So, let's talk about the player who name forever put their names among the best. This is the top 10 scorers in the history of soccer. Let's go! In 10th place, we have the Northern Ireland legend, Joe Bambrick, who scored 616 goals in his career. His soccer life was in the year after the First World War, when there was ruins and chaos. The Irishman's first club was Glentoran, where after a good season he was taken to Linfield, where he spent most of his career. There were also 4 seasons at Chelsea, but at that time Blues wasn't even close to the top level. His career ended during the Second World War, when people just didn't care about soccer. On the 9th place is the legendary Portuguese. You probably already thought that we're talking about Cristiano Ronaldo. But no, in Portugal there was another super forward who broke all records. Of course, I am talking about Eusebio, who only managed to score 3 goals more, 619. Almost his entire career spent for the lowly Portuguese Benfica, where he was always the main star. Eusebio played only 64 matches for the national team and scored 41 times. It was Eusebio who led the Portuguese national team to the World Cup for the first time in its history, while they fell right into a group with Brazil and sensationally won the quart. Portugal took 3rd place, and Eusebio, at the end of the World Cup, won the Golden Boot of the tournament, scoring 9 goals. On the 8th place in the list of the best placed scorer of Germany and Bayern Munich, Gerd Muller, who scored for his career 643 goals. At the age of 18, Gerd moved to Bayern, where at first time no one believed in him, and their salary was only 500 marks, so little that he even had to work as a construction worker. But already in the next season for Gerd and Bayern came the golden time. In the 16th-17th, Bayern 4 times became champions of their country, 4 times won the German Cup and 3 times won the European Cup. The great striker became the top scorer in the Bundesliga 6 times and twice won the Golden Boot. Müller is considered the most effective striker in the history of Champions League. In 35 matches, Gerd scored 34 goals. On the 7th place, Jimmy Johnson, legend of Scottish national team, who managed to score 647 goals during his career. Jimmy spent most of his career at the native Celtic, where he was won 32 trophies since 1967. Jimmy Johnson also played for the such clubs as San Jose, Sheffield United, Dundee, Shelbourne and Elgin City. In the Scottish national team, Jimmy wasn't such a cold-blooded striker, scoring only 4 goals in 23 matches. In 1967, Jimmy Johnson was one of the best players in the world, but only finished 3rd in the Golden Ball voting. The 6th place is taken by a player who has passed the mark of 700 goals scored, Joseph Bicken, who has scored 720 goals. He can be called a true Slavian legend because he scored most of his goals for the club, 554. Beacon holds the record for the highest scoring season in the Czechoslovak Championship, 33 goals, and in the Czech-Moravian League, 57 goals. According to the IFFHS striker ranked 34th in the list of the best soccer player of the 20th century. The fight is opened by the 3 times European Cup winner, the legend of Real Madrid and Hungarian national team, the man after whose honor the award in the soccer is named, and of course it is Ferenc Puskas, the player who scored 729 goals in his career and helped his team to win many trophies. In his homeland, Ferenc Puskas won 5 championships, in Spain 10 trophies. The striker becomes the top soccer of the Hungarian League 4 times, the Premier 4 times, the European Cup 3 times, as well as Puskas is the best goal scorer in the history of the national team, 84 goals. In 4th place we have Romario with 755 goals scored. His soccer career Brazilian spent mainly in his native country, although his best years spent in the top PSV, winning 3 championships and 2 Dutch Cups. After that, he went to play in Barcelona, where he won the championship 2 times. In the first season for the Blue Garnet, he was shown one of the most honored achievements of the footballer. His national team won the World Cup. Romario scored in every matches in the group stage. His streak was broken in the playoffs, but he still managed to score in the quarterfinal and semi-final. As well as in the final, he converted a penalty kick against Italy. At the end of the tournament, Romario took 3rd place in the scorers race and took the golden ball of the World Cup. The top 3 is opened by a man who is considered the best soccer player in Brazil, and many consider him the best in the world, Pelé, who scored 762 goals in his truly amazing career. Yes, there is an opinion that Pelé scored many more goals, namely 89 in 63 games. In addition, there are sources that say that at the age of 19, in one season Pelé scored 126 goals in 103 matches. But all this talk isn't supported by any official information. But what is confirmed is that Pelé is the only person who has won the World Cup 3 times. The 2nd place is taken by Lionel Messi, who broke the mark of 820 goals for his professional career. I think there is no point in listing all his achievements. Everyone knows everything. Messi also taken 2nd place in the list of the scorer in history of national teams. Messi scored his 100th goal recently in a friendly matches against the national team of Curacao, receiving the ball in the penalty area and scored the shell in the bottom left corner of the goal. By halftime the score was already 4-0, and Messi in this match made a hat-trick. Well, the 3rd place is taken by the forever rival Messi, who couldn't beat him in the number of golden balls, but could in the number of goals for a career, Cristiano Ronaldo, with his 843 goals. He scored his last goal against Al Hilal in the final of the Asian Champions League. In the match, Al Nassr, Ronaldo's team, ended a suspension, and Ludin in the score was playing in the minors. But they intervened the genius of Ronaldo, who after a few minutes equalized the score, and in extra time scored the winning goal, which allowed Al Nassr to win the first even Asian Champions League trophy. He will stop there and will fight with Messi for the title of the best striker of all time until the end of his career.
This is how we get our top 10 scorers, comments, likes. With you was Soccer News channel. Goodbye everyone.